would begin his act with 3 sticks, very similar to what Rastelli used, but a bit longer, as Truzzi was a very tall man. Truzzi learned from Rastelli. Rastelli performed often in a circus owned by Truzzi's family, and so he would see him practice and eventually learned from him, using Rastelli's props. Then he would move on to clubs. His clubs were giant clubs. They were long sticks with bulbous ends. He didn't use traditional juggling clubs. They wanted something a little different, and so he would use those for 4 and 5. Paul Bachmann still has one of these clubs. That's the only existing Truzzi prop that I'm aware of. Then we have some ball work here. Here's the 3-ball stack, which was a balanced stack that was done by Rastelli and Ribello and several others, and is done by Peter Bone today. They're not spinning, they're just balanced. And a statue trick, similar to what Rastelli used to do. Truzzi was famous for some statue tricks, as you can see in different pictures of him. This is a mouse stick work. He used a knife-shaped mouth stick. And here we have 5 plates while bouncing a ball on his head. He would often do 6 plates with the head bounce, and he would do 6 plates in the dark with fluorescent paint on the plates. You'll see that in the next video. Here he is with a Ringling Brothers Circus, probably 1940. Once again, starting with 3 sticks. Stu Reynolds, the prop maker, made fiberglass versions of both Truzzi's sticks and his clubs in the 1970s. Not very many of these exist, but he did make them, and if you have one, you have a very rare prop. Here, once again, the giant clubs. Truzzi sometimes did this with a ring around his ankle. And he ends here with a couple over-the-top throws. And the famous 4-club split. Here is 4 knives and a ball. And then from here he would do some head rolls and other things. Here's a ball on the foot, a ball on the head, and 4 knives. And transitioning to some mouse stick work, once again with that knife-shaped mouth stick. Truzzi was famous for tossing the ball into the audience and catching it on the mouse stick. He also was famous early in his career of balancing a glass fish bowl on one foot and another one on the mouse stick, and then switching them. We don't know of any video that exists of that trick, but we have many descriptions of it. An amazing trick. Here we go with Truzzi tossing the ball very high up into the audience. Here's 6 plates, and the lights will then go out. And the audience could see the plates, even though we can't. And here's 5 plates with a ball balance. He would mess this up purposely in his show, which you'll see here in a moment, so that he could do a gag with Emmett Kelly, who you can see in the background. here goes the purposeful mess up, and Emmett Kelly comes out with a bag to clean up the plates and such. He would follow this up by doing the trick for real, and then would end with either 3 or 5 torches.
The place, the ruins of the Ritz Hotel in Sarasota, Florida. One of Circus King John Ringling's dreams that collapsed. The man, Massimiliano Truzzi, a famous performer, now retired.
You see, I was working at the Cirque Royale in Brussels, and Mr. John Rilling North came to see my act. He hired me. But it was a gamble for me and for him. You see, when I heard about the Rilling show, I heard that they have 4 stages, 3 rings, so I really don't want it to work with all this bunch of performers. So Rilling said never in the history of the Rilling show we had a juggler that worked all by himself, but we will give a try. So when here I came to Madison Square Garden, he put me alone in the center ring. But I made good. Since that time, I've been working all the time alone.
Very few performers ever hold center ring all alone. Massimiliano Truzzi was without peer.
The tragedy of juggling is that you cannot fake. If you do a wrong step when you're dancing, people will not remark. But if you start to juggle something and you drop, people see that you drop. On more, you can practice all day long, and be terrific. But as soon you're a little nervous, goodbye. You have no control. Oh, I start to juggle. I came up, I start to juggle with 3 sticks. Then I juggle 4 or 5 clubs. I juggle plates. I juggle rubber balls. I juggle glass balls. I juggle torches. For the finale of my act, I finished my act with the flaming torches. And I used to throw them as high as the ceiling in Madison Square Garden. And this high. I've been on the stage all my life, and all my life I've been nervous.
His gifts do lessen. He does get old. But in his long prime, the working athlete has a concision and a grace denied most other men. For this he is honored.